Welcome, ladies, to the Work in Real Time, Episode 9. It is March the 4th. My name is Alicia, and I am a holistic health coach who support women in creating lives that feel sustainable, nourishing, and grounded. Today, I'm happy to share that I am feeling like myself again. Not in an everything is perfect kind of way, but in a grounded, clear, more steady way. I completed the rest of Lesson 1 in the bonus module about Black women, food, and body liberation. And what I'm noticing is that this part of the journey feels different. It's not just asking me what I eat, it's asking me why I eat the way I do. And even deeper, what my body learned long before I ever had words for it. One of the practices I did this week was called the Hunger Memory Map. It asked me to look back at my earliest memories involving food. And as I wrote mine out, I realized something. A lot of my current patterns didn't come from weakness. They came from training, survival, and how food was handled in my home, family, and culture. I wrote about the rule, clean your plate. I wrote about Sundays, abundance, and how Sundays felt like a feast, which created a kind of eat while you can mentality. I wrote about summers in the garden and helping my mom can food and how food was work, preparation, and planning. I wrote about going to bed still a little hungry sometimes because if you didn't like what was served, there wasn't another option. And I wrote about after school cereal and being so hungry by the time I got home that I would eat fast and a lot. When I put all of those memories together, I realized my body learned urgency, scarcity to override cues, and that finishing mattered more than enough. That was sobering, but also freeing. I ended that practice with an affirmation. I wrote that I honor the child who learned to survive around food, and I honor the woman who adapted to scarcity, structure, and expectation. But now I choose to eat from safety, not fear. I also reflected on something I've honestly never sat with before. What emotions do I feel when I begin to get full? At first, I thought none, but when I slowed down and listened, I realized fullness can feel like the end of pleasure, like something good is ending too soon. I also noticed that stopping before the plate is empty can create a subtle tension within me, like it feels unfinished. And the more I sat with it, the more I realized fullness is a boundary, and boundaries are something I'm still learning to trust. That alone was a powerful insight. I did another reflection around finishing my plate and what it was protecting. And when I wrote it out, I realized finishing wasn't just about food. It protected me from scarcity, from the guilt that wasting food would appear to be ungrateful, from disobedience, and from emotional discomfort. I also realized that finishing my plate protected pleasure. If something tasted good, finishing meant I got all of it, and I had never thought of that as protection before. I used to call it a lack of discipline, but now I can see it was a pattern built for safety. One of my favorite reflections this week was the Future Lineage Intention. I wrote that I refuse to pass down the belief that a plate must be clean no matter what. I refuse to pass down urgency, and I refuse to pass down guilt. Instead, I want to pass down awareness and choice. To me, that feels like healing. Additionally, I did a body timeline reflection. I looked at different seasons of my life, such as puberty, pregnancy, chronic stress, racial trauma, as well as weight cycling, and asked, my body was protecting me by, I'm not going to share every detail here, but I will say it changed the way I see my body. It helped me recognize that my body wasn't failing me. My body was adapting and surviving. And now I'm learning to stop treating her like she's the problem. One of the biggest milestones this week is that I'm letting go of the exhausting to-do list that I could never finish. Instead, I have been limiting myself to 3 things a day. And when I complete them, I feel satisfied. That shift alone has changed my nervous system. Also, on 2 different days this week, when I was exhausted and needed a nap, I didn't debate it. Instead, I honored my body and allowed it time to rest. So, what I am learning right now, I'm learning that what I feel are setbacks can actually lead to growth, and slowing down doesn't mean I'm failing. It means I'm stabilizing. Additionally, I can feel a slow nudge toward truly accepting myself where I am, not waiting to love my body later or respecting myself after something changes, but being grateful now. What I'm carrying forward is this. I don't need to force my way into healing. I need to listen my way into it. With more gentleness, choice, compassion, and a willingness to let my body feel safe again. That's where I am this week. I'll check back in next Wednesday and share what unfolds. If you're navigating your own relationship with food, body, or health, and would like to learn more about the Empower Her journey or join my free private Facebook group, you can find the information in the links below. And I'll see you next week right here for the Work in Real Time.